Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker and Max. Another day where we hit all-time high, and another day where we just have these vicious wipeouts immediately after doing it, man. I mean, it's love it or hate it, right? You watched. I mean, that's really how the Bitcoin market feels right now. But another all-time high for Bitcoin that goes without saying. One of these days we're going to break above all-time highs and really, really send. Maybe that day is today and that this was just some sort of last-minute rinse. We'll talk about it and more on this show. But before we start sharing that big, juicy alpha with you guys, before we get cooking as a team, we always appreciate when you guys smash that like button. And hey, it's another day where Bitcoin broke all-time highs. And yes, it was a little bit short-lived again, but it's another all-time high, right? And the higher that Bitcoin goes with this much strength, obviously, altcoins will stand to benefit down the road. But welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's talk markets, right? I'm sure that we'll bug you again over the like button throughout the show, but yeah, Bitcoin's at all-time highs. I'm kind of repeating myself in that regard, but it's just as shocking as it was in the beginning of the week. Just because it is short-lived doesn't mean that we can't celebrate days like today after all that we've come back from. But yeah, I mean, look, Bitcoin, we talked about it yesterday, 67, 68K. That's very much been a line in the sand, more or less, in this local range. And we traded back into it yesterday. Didn't know if it was distributive or not. Today, we got this huge spike up, eliminated all shorts. I'm sure there's still plenty of resting shorts here, but now they're once again taking it to long. So I'm treating this area a little bit more like a range at this point until Bitcoin shows that requisite strength needed to break out above all-time highs. And when it does that, everything's going to send. Ethereum's going to send, altcoin's going to send, Dogcoin's going to send. And it looks like a lot of them want to send. They're just kind of waiting on the green light from Bitcoin, which is less of a literal light and more of a metaphorical one above all-time high. Meanwhile, over in equity land, guys, you've got another gap up into another all-time high from the S&P. It's pretty much been doing the exact same thing all week. Oh, wow. Are we nuking on Bitcoin? Man,
again, we need the agger, man.
This might be a carbon copy of Monday, man. I hope not, but we'll see. A lot to talk about, clearly, once again. Welcome, guys. What are we seeing in the markets today other than, Bitcoin getting stuffed at the rim for the second time this week?
Look, man, here's the deal. They're delaying the inevitable. I don't understand the real motivation. I mean, they're really attempting to squeeze as much as they can out of this layup short, knowing people get a little bit frothy into a new all-time high. It's a little frustrating, man, because it's like we just know that we're there. We know what's coming, but, there are those that are looking to exploit the overeager, and that's what's happening. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it again. It's just like fucking rip this thing off like a Band-Aid already. Because once it happens, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. But actually, what I'm more focused on, truthfully, is Ethereum and alts. Like Bitcoin, in my opinion, it's probably just going to keep doing this. I would say through next week. It's disappointing, right? It's just like these fucking derivatives traders, man. They just cannot let up, man. They will not relent. But whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty bullish BTC here. Like, I mean, I guess actually, let me just show you guys my chart here. So there's a pretty obvious play setting up, in my opinion, and it's beginning to sort of materialize. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, because everybody that has a derivatives account recognizes that open interest seems to kind of climb as we get into the new all-time high and funding gets expensive. And then they're like, ooh, let's just exploit everybody again. Ooh, fun. Let's just jeet them back down and frustrate them. Guys, it's inevitable. Like, eventually this is going to stop happening and we're just going to blast off the 75 or 80K and there won't be any more layup shorts because the froth is, I mean, look, in the simplest of terms, guys, like you're looking at this region. Whenever we get up into here, which is the previous Bitcoin all-time high, everybody gets a little excited. People start aping. They leave themselves vulnerable because they're executing in a more sloppy, casual fashion. And then some guy just hammers the ask here, and look what happens. But again, it's delaying the inevitable, in my opinion. But what we were seeing before this little Jeet Fest was basically ETH's buyback after the initial Jeet Fest has been stronger than Bitcoin. So again, ignoring all of this, like annoying, but it doesn't really matter that much. There's only so much they can do. They can only delay it for so long. And again, this has happened every single previous all-time high. Go back to 2020, go back to 2017. I'll even happily recreate the charts if you don't believe me. We talked about this a couple shows ago. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is a rotation that I'll be keeping an eye on just as Bitcoin, eventually kind of grinds up to an all-time high and this bullshit stops here, which it will. I'm expecting ETH to be the faster horse in this race. And subsequently, ETH outperformance against Bitcoin, which I'm anticipating, should also indicate that it's not going to be just ETH. ETH outperformance will lead to other kind of mid-cap, we'll call them, outperformance. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my thoughts on this? That we're not only going to see an ETH dominated rally here in probably the next month or two, but that should trickle down into mid caps?
I know. I mean, if Bitcoin is going to go, to 75 or 80K, I would say we probably see something like we saw this morning, where Bitcoin did suck up a lot of the liquidity while it was going up. And then I think you probably see that rotation, right? Like, I think you probably get, like I said, Bitcoin is 75 or 80. You probably see one more little spike on dominance, and then you see ETH outperform, and then see the trickle down. But I think you gotta see a little Bitcoin dominance spike first, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I agree with Tucker. I think at the very least, ETH will probably need Bitcoin to lead, at least on a lower time frame. But I've been saying I'm not sure that Bitcoin dominance is done climbing just yet. I think it can still trade into 58, 60% before we see. And maybe that Bitcoin dominance is less associated with ETH, since we've talked about this before. Bitcoin and ETH kind of have the biggest underlying bids under them at the end of the day from TradFi. So maybe Bitcoin and ETH kind of trade together, and Bitcoin dominance hitting a certain level is more indicative of, that altcoin breadth that we talk about, a few times already this week, expanding once we hit that level.
I guess I'm open to Bitcoin dominance having another push up like it did last cycle. So I marked out when Bitcoin made a new all-time high, which is right here, roughly. We did, in fact, see when we finally broke through, and we stopped messing around under the all-time high, which, by the way, we did the same thing that we're doing right now last cycle, guys. I guess I'd be open to that, right? So Bitcoin has made a new all-time high here. And maybe we have to have one more, kind of right in between here, like spike up, like Tommy's suggesting and Tucker's suggesting, and then we go down. But the only thing that's throwing me off is, like, this just looks super, super distributive right here. Like, looking at this here, let's even put it down on the 3-day. This looks pretty damn distributive to me. Where back here, guys, when we were doing the same thing, this looked like a really kind of obvious dump into another spike up. Like, market structure remained intact. Like, look at all these highs and lows. I don't know why that was straight. But this just looks like super, like, weak to me. I don't know. And again, happy to be wrong. Like, if Bitcoin chads up here and just leads again, sure. But this doesn't look like it's about to spike up to me. This looks distributive, like Bitcoin dominance is getting ready to roll over.
I see what you're saying, but I think, like, if I'm just looking at it, and if I'm a market maker, I would fake a breakout and then nuke it. You know what I mean? Honestly. But I mean, Tommy, you said it right. Like, probably the healthiest thing for the market is for Bitcoin to go up and to suck liquidity and then let it roll to altcoins. Because if we just have an alt season right now, like, kind of at the all-time high, it gets a little more precarious, I think. you know, in terms of the pullback, right? Of where that would go. Like I'd rather Bitcoin go to 80K, suck some liquidity out, let the alts run, pull back to like where we are right now, and then go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What's
that'd
up,
probably
guys?
Hey,
What up,
Jack.
Chef?
What's up, bro?
Does this trend line matter, gentlemen?
Jim's comment.
Yeah, go tap it one more time, you know, go get it.
Look
I
at
mean,
this
that
man.
retest is clean though.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Who is this
He's
guy?
Who is this
he's
clown?
net short Bitcoin dominance.
Yeah, he should be. He should be. Biggest bull trap I've ever seen. You're lucky that
And-
you forced me to buy that puppet chimp. You're lucky.
Invert the Bitcoin dominance chart and say you're max long.
Happy to. I mean, this looks like a nice long setup to me. I mean, this literally looks like ETH BTC, doesn't it?
Max, let me. This is gonna play. We're literally gonna do the same thing, man. Look at this. It's gonna be the same thing. Higher low, even here, man. Higher low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Throw a
I agree.
fractal on there, man. Throw a fractal on there. Tucker, also, you're missing an opportunity to line up your horizontal lines, man. Line them up. There it is. Way better.
wow,
Way better.
that actually is kind of.
I was gonna tell you, you tweeted that out the other day, and I was like, "Oh, Tucker, man, that was." He could have easily just like.
I know.
made
I
it so
didn't
much
line it up
prettier.
at all.
No.
All right. I don't even know where that would go.
It's kind of hard to see BTC not making a higher low here.
Yeah.
But I still would love if it ranges for some time here. Creates nice base, takes
Where
a
did I pull
pause.
that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be. I mean, that would be like.
Yesterday we talked about that 63K level, right?
Yeah, we did. I feel like.
Yeah, this is probably just going to play here, man. In my opinion, if we can just maintain that previous low, and by the way, it is my base case that we don't breach that previous low that Tucker has marked by the green arrow. As long as we put in some sort of higher low here, I think the next stab at the all-time high is the God candle. So,
yeah,
I just, I don't think we need to do it a third time. I think again, you hold that low where Tucker has it, maybe even stop soon, hopefully, just to get it over with. And then I think you work your way back up, man. 80 comes quick. 80 comes real quick.
Jeez, we are kind of rugging.
Good. I'm actually glad.
Maybe your coins. My coins are up 20% on the day.
yep.
Pepe Bros eating good.
Dude, Pepe Bros don't give a damn. Talk about relative strength, man.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, what are we even talking about here, dude? Like, it's insane. Also, who could have foreseen?
Whiff looking nice.
I feel like there's actually a world where whiff goes to like $10 plus.
Dude, somebody was calling for
Is it our word?
$40 whiff in a group chat that I'm in, which
$40.
Okay, so
which would be wild.
what is Whiff's market cap, guys? What is Whiff's market cap right now?
Couple bill.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that every dollar Whiff goes up, it adds $1 billion onto its market cap.
Yeah, no, it's exactly the like 2.1.
If these exchange, and I think that was done intentionally, by the way, which is genius. I think that if these exchanges are motivated enough and we get the appropriate listings at the appropriate times, confluent with Bitcoin and ETH showing some strength, which in my opinion is inevitable here over the next month or two, I actually think there's a case to be made for WIF going to like 20 to 30 billion. I don't think it'll hit that like 50 billion necessarily. Like I think Pepe will slice through, but I do think I think that in terms of meme coins this cycle, you should view, I mean, we're going to exclude Doge from this. Doge is the OG, right? But Pepe should, if you're really aggressive, Pepe should be your alpha. WIF should be your beta. All right. Like if you want real meme coin outperformance and you're in these trenches, guys, I think Pepe goes to 50 to 100 billion. WIF probably goes 15 to 25 billion. And you're going to outperform everything and be like, why did I not shove my entire portfolio into just these two names for generational wealth?
What
And
about
that's probably how
Floki?
it's going to play out, you know?
What about Floki, Mox?
Floki's actually one that's holding up pretty well. Floki is the only other one that I would consider, just given that it is from a pair trading perspective. Here, let me just show you this. I have to Tommy the chart.
Do it.
So I study meme coins against each other as pairs to help me stay non-emotional, right? And I own a bunch of Doge, by the way, just on principle. You have to support the OG, and I think it's a free trade to $1 plus. But Doge
So it's
is
like if you are into high caps and you are holding BTC, right?
yeah, exactly.
If
But Doge is capitulating against Pepe, right? So Pepe's outperforming. Pepe's kicking Bonk's ass right now. Pepe's kicking Shib's ass right now. We're going to zoom in on Floki in a second, but it's kind of trading at parity. Whiff, again, trading at parity. So I own Whiff, smaller bag than Pepe. I own Doge, smaller bag than Pepe. Floki, I don't own any of, but I will admit, Floki is actually trading. I mean, it's ugly, right? But it's not losing value against Pepe. Maybe a little bit, depending on where you want to count it from. Like from when the Pepe pump originated over here, it's lost a little bit of value, but Floki is actually holding up tremendously well against Pepe, which has been the leader in the meme coins. So Pepe or Floki is one where, I mean, I'll tell you guys right now, if we see Floki, do this, and this right here ended up being a bear trap like this, and Floki comes up here and looks like it's about to start moving up, there's going to be a rotation from Pepe into Floki, and I'll be a participant in that, right? I just use the data and the charts at my disposal. As of right now, no reason to do that. None. But this is a chart that demands your respect, and it demands you to keep an eye on it, because if it doesn't roll over like this and it actually reclaims, then you could seriously see Floki outperform Pepe. And by the way, that's not my base case at all, but I'm putting it out there. Like, I am a data driven, data oriented, leave your emotions at the door type of trader. And we're looking at this chart, and the chart is going to tell you exactly what you need to know. So yeah, Jackus, Floki actually is not losing value against Pepe, which basically every other meme coin right now is. So besides Whiff, right? Whiff is trading up. Eventually one of them will just run away. That's the reality of it. Like, one meme coin will end up stealing the show this cycle. My bet right now is Pepe. My big bet right now is Pepe. But eventually it's going to be like, Doge will either just kick everybody's ass, not my base case. It'll probably end up being Floki, Whiff, or Pepe. Okay.
yeah,
I have exposure to 2 of the 3. I don't own any Floki, but
It-
I'm keeping an eye on it.
it cannot be Dutch because it's the highest market cap. We discussed this topic way too many times to go over it again. But Dutch simply cannot outperform low market cap coins. So
Correct. And look at this chart.
Floki
I mean,
Pepe with has to.
it's capitulating,
The
You're-
good news for everyone is that in whichever of these you are making money, right?
Yes. And actually, I would like to take a look at Floki, because it's like one that I haven't really focused on. But it has been, it actually has been trading quite well, and again, tracking Pepe. So it's a clean setup. I mean, it's like maybe they both just run together, and they just go back and forth. But yeah, I mean, let's
Yeah.
see here.
I mean, I did because I learned from the past cycles, and instead of trying to pick the winner, before we ran Max, you remember, I said I'm just gonna start DCing into both because I have no idea which, and both make sense to me. And I do not have to care which one outperforms, because first of all, both are making money. Well, any meme coin is making money right now, right? But these two made most sense to me. I didn't know anything about this though before, but from the existing ones I knew of, Pepe and Floki made sense to me that they're gonna outperform the rest, and they're gonna obviously outperform Doge. Doge seemed relatively undervalued to me. I thought, not gonna lie, I thought that Pepe would go slightly lower, where it did bottom, but then I said I will have to start DCing into these because I cannot afford, you know, my prediction or like my anticipation to win over my profits. So just gotta start DCing into both, and then whichever runs hardest, the better.
And that's the only correct approach, right? I guess my one lapse here, and it doesn't really matter because my 3 meme coin bags are, I've got some Doge just on principle. And for the sake of diversification, I've got Whiff, which is trading closely with Pepe performance wise, if not tracking almost identically. And I've obviously got a huge bag of Pepe, which is like my moonshot. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Pepe's on the right, Floki's on the left. Pepe's up 670%, and Floki's up 614. You can't really go wrong with either one right now. But again, I don't know if you would agree with this, Jackus, but eventually I think one of them will just, run away.
I agree.
One meme coin. I don't know if it's Floki, Pepe, Whiff. I have a feeling it's Pepe, but again, that's my own hunch, right? I have a feeling one of them will clearly run away and pull a 10x over the other. So
Max,
you
you
gotta
use
use Max. I'm in Doge for diversification. I think a boomer would have a stroke if they heard you say that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what you said, Max, there always has to be some winner, right? Something will always produce the most returns. The thing is that ahead you do not know, and that's why you are in both.
Oh, this changes things for me a little bit here. I don't think it matters a ton, but I think it shouldn't be ignored that Floki still is not above the previous all-time high. I don't know if it matters a ton, but something to keep an eye on. Where Pepe is now in price discovery and also hasn't had like a cycle yet. Where I mean, actually, yeah, this does change things a bit for me. I mean, it actually doesn't because like I've already got my Pepe bag. I'm betting on what I believe is the winning meme coin here. But you can see that Floki peaked out almost exactly when Bitcoin did last cycle. So Floki's already been around for a cycle, where Pepe's a fresh chart. So, we'll see how Floki reacts when it gets into price discovery. But yeah, I mean, I just think given that Pepe's a fresh chart, it's more memeable, like hasn't been around, it's already in price discovery. I feel like that actually that kind of reinforces my conviction with Pepe a little bit further, but we'll keep an eye on it, right? Like it's not an emotional thing. We're going to keep an eye on this chart here. And if I see Floki begin to dramatically outperform Pepe or any other meme coin, that shouldn't be ignored, right? Like there's very obvious signs and we'll be keeping an eye on them. So yeah,
what was pretty interesting. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it.
What was pretty interesting on the chart before you had is that Floki actually bottomed before BTC had.
Is it because Bitcoin had that deviation from FTX?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Maybe we should be looking at ETH instead. Is Floki on ETH? I actually don't even I've completely ignored Floki for whatever reason. But is Floki ERC20?
I would say so.
I would assume so.
That was my assumption too, but I actually don't know.
It is.
But yeah, it's trading a lot more like ETH beta, clearly. I mean, fantastic ETH beta. Look at this. You can see it in the chart, You can certainly see it. Yeah, look at that. That's such clean ETH beta right there, guys. Look at that. Look at all these prominent highs. Here, we'll mark this out with blue. Look at this. Clean. It's forming highs and lows, at the same time. That's quite nice. High. Yeah, that's interesting. It's trading very, very nicely against ETH. Just ETH beta.
Well, if you are anticipating ETH to go above 10K, what does that say about Floki and other meme coins? Wow.
So let's look at Floki against ETH right now. Yeah, man, look at that. That's clean. I mean, kind of expected, how that would look. But this is, I mean, this is clean. Floki against ETH, man. That's all that Floki is. Clearly, is just turbocharged ETH. Look at that trend line breakout.
Hmm.
It's literally just juiced ETH.
Look at that fake out.
Look at that right there. Yeah, it's literally just buying like 10x levered ETH is what it is.
Wow.
Jack is, why are we holding ETH when we could just hold 10 times levered ETH and holding Floki, man? Look at how clean this is trading.
That's what we are doing.
Oh, true.
I mean, I'm holding ETH and Floki and Pepe, right? So again, diversified while holding some high caps with very low risk, and you can flip the ratios whenever you want to. You're unbothered, moisturized, happy,
Comfy,
flourishing.
In my own lane.
Yep. Enjoy your.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is really interesting.
Max, we had a request for lean hog futures. I went ahead and fulfilled that request. This is lean hog futures.
How did you even figure out that ticker, man? You just type in lean hog?
Maybe. It's looking pretty good, Chimp. It's looking pretty good for you. So just
Guys,
wanted to get to all our requests.
Guys, have you lately seen the shitcoin called Apple stock? It's pretty. It's something else.
Oh, geez.
Oh my! Is that because nobody likes their headset?
Imagine,
thick, Max.
Imagine you guys investing in some worthless shit company like Apple instead of investing in the future revolutionary products such as Floki and Pepe. Couldn't be me.
That could never be me.
Oh man, look at this comment.
To all the Jeters out there, study. Oh, to all the Jeters out there, study Vin Diesel, bro. That's such a good point. Like, you need to study Vin Diesel if you want to find success in these markets, because you never turn your back on family.
No,
you never do it. And also, guys, speaking of family, we're all a big family here, and family supports each other. And the best way that you guys can support us right now, your family, is by hitting that like button. Guys, we haven't asked you yet. We got a big audience today. We got 230 people on YouTube, guys, with 87 likes. There's no reason we shouldn't be at 1-to-1, guys. All you got to do, guys, is take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up button. Guys, it does wonders for the channel. It does wonders for our growth. And again, we are so appreciative of your guys' continued support of what we are building here. But we need you to just take one quick moment and run these likes up, guys. It should be a 1-to-1 like ratio. I know you're probably like, oh man, somebody else will like it. I don't need to like it. You know, I'll just keep enjoying Market Check without liking. I hate to break it to you, my friend, but we need every one of you to like. There's 220 people watching with 99 likes, guys. That's egregious. We're not even halfway through. We need at least half of our audience to like the video, guys. We're not even halfway there. That's insulting. It's insulting. We need you guys to run up the likes. So again, if you want to help us grow, you want to support us, again, we're here for free, working our butts off every single day. All that we request, hit that like button. And I guess also, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. This is Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time. Again, this is our daily live YouTube show. So consider subscribing to the channel as well. Okay, Tucker's working on something here.
Dude, look at this, man. This is so perfect, especially on the lower time frames. Like, I mean, you just had your Jeet off the sweep. You know, maybe we come back, we retest. I mean, how long did this take, though? This took this from the sweep.
Dude, the old sweep and Jeet, Tucker.
10 days.
But this is happening quicker. This is happening much quicker.
It is.
The
So
buyback happened quicker.
Yeah, this is on
it
the
is
1
happening
hour.
measurably quicker. All right.
Yeah, so what was that? 42 bars, but I'm on the 1 hour.
Guys, just quickly,
Tomorrow.
Tucker can cook just quickly for the Discord. We need a off topic. There's a request for off topic channel.
Off topic channel?
Yeah, because people are spamming the meme channel. And let's leave the memes just for the memes, and we need off topic.
There it is. I mean, yeah, Sunday at 4 a.m. or p.m. I don't know which. We will set our high or low. Yeah. It's too clean, man. It's too clean, but
I have
you
to
guys
agree
wanna
with the
see-
sucker. I have to
Jack, if
agree.
you gotta see this Jetery, man. Look at this Jetery. I wonder who this was.
Stratos.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ, dude.
it's
Down
an
8.
opportunity to rotate more profits into dime here before the cope begins.
Yeah,
Jack,
there will
do you
be
think that
coke,
we're gonna?
man.
You think that PO3 is gonna play, brother?
There will be coke.
Give me a reason why not.
Because it's a VC scam that has a bunch of soft paper hand bitches holding it.
Yeah.
Wait. Just a few weeks ago, it was the new revolutionary tech that is going to run.
It is the
20,000%.
new revolutionary tech, Jackus. It is.
I'm actually not bearish on the project and the idea itself. I'm bearish on the people that they got money from, man, because they're not crypto natives. They're just greedy VCs.
Yeah.
And they're only thinking of themselves. So the community run proof of work projects or, largely decentralized projects, they don't have like literal snakes, they don't have wolves in the hen house like some of these VC
Max,
projects do. Yeah.
Max, I I have an objection to that. You are all in on Pepe.
So here's the thing with Pepe, bro, is I had a healthy weight. Like I spent a lot of time working on like a pretty healthy weight to my portfolio. And then Pepe pulled like an 8x, and now Pepe is like way too much of my portfolio. But I was kind of hoping that it would pump with everything else so that like everything would go up together and it would slowly become a bigger part of my portfolio. But Pepe has become like probably like 40% of my entire portfolio. It went from being like 10% or less, to just like way too much. But it's like the trade is not done. I'm not going to sell it because I'm heavy Pepe. It just happened like that,
It was very quick though, wasn't it? Way ahead of everything, surprisingly.
No complaints from me.
No complaints.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. No complaints.
Pepe is Lord.
And here's the thing about Pepe too, guys. And then I also see some questions about Kaspa. I'm happy to get into Kaspa here soon. Pepe hasn't had a day yet where it's been up 80% or 100%. And a lot of the other meme coins have. Pepe's 100% day is still loading, where it basically just completely rips up and everyone's like, what the hell just happened? I don't know if it'll be, an exchange listing or just like, massive liquidation event or just chart goes viral, whatever it is. But Pepe hasn't had that day yet. And it is coming. Every meme
Kaspa,
coin has that day. What's that?
Oh. You talked about Kaspa, no?
I can talk about Kaspa now. You want me to talk about Kaspa?
Sure.
Only if you want to. I'll do it.
The people demand it in the chat.
All right. Let's talk about Kaspa.
Our favorite fan.
All right, let's talk about some Kaspa. All right, guys. First things first, Kaspa is totally fine. This is expected. I put out a tweet about this, but we are going to talk about it again. All right. As much as all of us that are believers in Kaspa would appreciate Kaspa not being dependent on Bitcoin and ETH and broader market conditions, as much as we would all appreciate that, unfortunately, Kaspa is an altcoin. All right. I know it's crazy to hear. I understand that's a controversial take, but Kaspa is in fact an altcoin. All right. I don't mean to offend anybody. Kaspa is a huge position of mine. If you give me too much crap, I'll jeet the chart. I'm just kidding. Do not give me crap about it because that's real. Kaspa is an altcoin. It is an alternative investment to Bitcoin in the digital asset space. So as Kaspa has grown through the ranks, I know your argument is, well, down here, it didn't, Bitcoin just did whatever and Kaspa went crazy. Yeah, Kaspa was a micro cap. Okay. Kaspa is now a multi-billion-dollar asset. it is going to trade more codependently towards, Bitcoin and ETH, just like normal altcoins, and it's going to outperform them. So let's reconstruct this example from yesterday. All right. My thesis has been, again, data dependent, that Kaspa, since it's a mid-cap altcoin, Kaspa is going to be dependent on Bitcoin breaking through its all-time high. What do we see mid-caps doing as Bitcoin basically starts breaking through its all-time high? So here was the all-time high on Bitcoin last cycle. This is ADA on the right, Kaspa on the left. All right, this is the previous Bitcoin all-time high. Right here, I'll just circle it so you can't miss it. Previous Bitcoin all-time high. Again, the old sweep and jeet. You can see we had a few wicks there. ADA bled aggressively. Okay, and again, we can use ADA, we can use Sol. It doesn't matter. Like, take one of your top performing mid cap alts last cycle, and they all did this as Bitcoin was aggressively pushing up into its previous all-time high. I mean, look at the performance here, right? Bitcoin went straight up from 12K to 22K, and ADA bled the whole time. We're seeing Kaspa do the exact same thing because Kaspa is a mid-cap altcoin. All right. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's doing the exact same thing that Sol and ADA and every altcoin that wasn't ETH last cycle did while we were at this juncture in the market. So where do I think Kaspa is going? Again, now that we've established why it's doing what it's doing, and it's going to end very soon. As soon as Bitcoin blasts through the previous all-time high and stops doing this little, sweep and jeet thing that it's doing, you are going to see Kaspa go crazy, just like you're going to see everything go crazy. And I think Kaspa is going to be one of the leaders, which is why I choose to hold it. But why? Here, we'll just save this quick. Cas versus ADA. Okay. Where do I see it going? Well, this is the roadmap, guys. This is the one I've been following here. I think it's going to continue to do this. It's going to continue to follow this right here. And again, we're gonna put this up here, and we're actually going to put it up with Sol, which is where this fractal came from. We need to change the color.
Man, not to stop you, Max, but I bet that if you used a fractal for any downside, the Kaspa community would come and tell you, you cannot do that because it's a fractal from different altcoin. But if you're going to use it for the upside from different altcoin, they will tell you, oh,
Yes.
it's good.
That is true. There's a lot of emotions in it, but I like that. I like the emotions in it. Like, I love the passion. That's not the approach that I take. But I totally get it, and I empathize with it. And we want the same thing. All right. But we're going to be realistic about what we're investing in here right now. And by the way, just because it's trading like a mid-cap altcoin right now doesn't mean it always has to. All right. It can totally carve its own lane, but we're not there yet, guys. We're not there yet. Okay. We're not even listed on Coinbase yet, for God's sake. Like, let's slow
And
things down a little
Binance.
bit.
And
So again,
Binance.
we are looking at this fractal. Okay. And furthermore, let's take a little more granular approach to it. Let's see what Sol was doing. Again, this is the purpose of me comparing Kaspa to Sol and ADA is that they were two blue chip altcoins from last cycle. Okay. They don't have to have anything in common other than that. Nothing. It doesn't matter. Again, we're looking at fractals in terms of market psychology and market adoption. So ignore where this fractal was and just look at the timing of where Bitcoin is. All right. So we're trying to break through all-time high right here. Bitcoin was trying to break through all-time high right here. Again, I know the fractals don't line up as I have them drawn. There's multiple ways to skin the cat here. All right. Look at what Solana was doing last cycle as Bitcoin was moving up. Bitcoin was moving up. And look at what Solana was doing. Aggressively bleeding down. Look at that. Interesting. Let's see what we're doing right now. All right. Bitcoin is moving up through all-time high. And let's see what Kaspa's doing. Oh my gosh, who could have foreseen? You know, guys, Kaspa is right on track. In my opinion, Kaspa is going to be well over $1 here in the not too distant future, but it's going to require Bitcoin to absolutely destroy the previous all-time high rather than doing this little sweep and sell off that it's been doing. But again, it's going to happen. Okay. I gave multiple examples here as to when I believe that's coming, why it's doing what it's doing. This is that point in the cycle where people that are overly concentrated in mid-cap alts, they are feeling frustrated. They're like, why is my altcoin not moving? They're watching Pepe rip, they're watching Doge rip, they're watching even Bitcoin and ETH rip, and all these mid-cap alts are sitting here watching. Guys, look at the chart. This is what always happens. But then look what happens when Bitcoin finally breaks through the all-time high. All right, let's take a look at it. Bitcoin in 2020 breaks through with conviction. We'll make this green so you can see it. Okay. And then look what happens here. When Bitcoin finally breaks through with conviction, look at what Sol does last cycle. ADA did the same thing. So what am I expecting here? Bitcoin's going to finally break through with conviction within the next couple weeks tops. Okay. Why that went really wide. Okay. Here we go. Bitcoin's going to finally break through with conviction. And then what's going to happen to Kaspa? It's going to do this. Just like every mid-cap altcoin does every single cycle. Right now, it is beta of beta season. It is meme coin, full-blown degen, risk on, people front-running those obvious plays for later. And mid-cap altcoins are going to continue to get destroyed until Bitcoin's at like 75K. But yeah, I hope that answered your guys' question and hopefully cleared things up, because again, my dream scenario, and a man can dream. I don't really think this is going to happen, but my dream scenario is that Pepe goes to 50 billion plus in like a month. Things just get nuts. Bitcoin chills out here, and I get to rotate generational wealth into stuff like Kaspa that still haven't moved in the next 30 days. But I don't think that's going to happen, to be clear. But hey, a man can dream. But guys, like, let me know if this makes sense. Drop it in the comments, guys. I tried to be as clear with this as I can, and I speak with confidence and conviction because I'm staring at the data in front of me. I'm not looking at this emotionally going, oh man, like, why is my Kaspa not moving? I don't care that my Kaspa is not moving. It doesn't matter. Like, this is exactly why it's not moving. And I've told you when it's going to start moving. So this is as clear as I can be, but Kaspa looks fantastic, guys. Kaspa looks like it's getting ready to rip again, but it's going to take, it's going to take a little bit of time, and it's going to be dependent on Bitcoin. It is, unfortunately. And by the way, guys, that's a good thing. Your altcoin not being at all dependent on broader market conditions means that it's still a micro cap shitter. Kaspa is on the verge of mainstream adoption, in my opinion. And this is part of those growing pains to become a mainstream asset. If you want Kaspa to be a multi-$100 billion asset one day, you have to go through the growing pains of the market adopting it. And we're there, Anyways, that's what I got for you guys on Kaspa.
Do you think that people care about the tech, or they care about number go up?
What's the
They
difference?
think they care about the tech.
What's the difference? I don't understand your question. It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's funny
You don't need
because
to answer, but
we'll have
let's
like
just
an
leave the question out there.
Sorry,
Look,
Jack. I was just going to say.
No, go on, Thomas. Sorry, so go on.
No, it's funny because like you can have an NFT or an ordinal that you're holding, and it's like, wow, suddenly I really like this picture. And then you think about it a little bit more. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, realistically, I like this more because the number is going higher rather than I find the picture and the community endearing. But you have to psyop yourself a little bit. You can't think like that. You got to embrace being a part of the community to hit those outsized gains, though.
Yeah. I agree with you, Tommy. I'm where I'm at, man, is I've invested in the number go up for most things. And I'm not talking about Kaspa specifically. I've invested for the number go up. I'm a technician. I'm a technical trader. I'm a chartist. And typically I invest in the chart and I learn about the tech later. And that's what I've done with Kaspa. And it happens to actually be very good tech. And I mean, that's the perfect synergy, right? Is the chart looks good. The technicians get a hold of it. The guys like myself that can kind of roadmap where number go up should happen. And it's also reinforced fundamentally where it's not going to rug you, and it's not a VC scam or a pump and dump. And
That's
Kaspa
true.
checks every single box for me. So
Yeah, it's one of those that you can hold with high conviction without the fears during sell-offs, right? Because on many shitcoins, when there is the panic, you wonder and you wanna panic sell and run away. But if there's a panic sell on something you have strong conviction with, that that doesn't have strong, uh, founders that are ready to dump on you, then it's
Yep.
much easier to hold during those times. So that's definitely an add-on.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm. Patience will be rewarded with mid caps, guys. That's anything. Like I own plenty of mid caps that are not doing shit right now. Okay, we all do. I'm not like an all-in investor in anything. I have a very healthily balanced portfolio. Arguably, it was a little bit healthier before Pepe pumped. Now it's pretty concentrated, but I own plenty of stuff. I'm diversified, and I know that Jackus has been a big advocate of that as well. And it's hard to pick the winner. And so for every one guy that goes all in a shit coin and it goes crazy, there's you know 999 more that basically lost it all trying to do that strategy. You have to diversify, even if your project is currently lagging. And again, you guys can tune into shows like this with guys that spend a lot of time, understanding these rotations, and where capital flows and why price is doing what it's doing. And it can provide you some clarity. Like, this is not the time to over rotate and go chasing like the hot ticker. This is not. This is the time to recognize why this is happening and up your bets if you remain convicted to the thesis. So this is not the time to be like, oh man, I'm gonna sell my Kaspa for like shitcoin A, B, or C because it's pumping. No. I just told you exactly why that's a bad idea, and I told you exactly when that's going to change. You have your roadmap. It's right here, guys. And I expect I'm going to refresh the likes. There better be a lot of likes in this video, guys. There better be a lot of likes in this video. 160. Ooh, guys. Look at you. Unbelievable. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for all the likes, guys. We cook. It's a fair exchange. We cook, you like. That's it.
I quickly pulled out Tommy here, and I have a question. First of all, I had this drone, and this is fucking crazy. But I had this drone, and I was like, if we break here, we come back and retest. Just open the chart on Bybit, and I see this. Like, what the fuck? But my question here is, what's going on Maxi with Kaspa? Because this is the second time when there was a big wick on Bybit and on other exchanges too.
Jackus, I think it's less to do with Mexi and more to do with Bybit, probably.
But it's on all other. Yeah, that would make sense unless we would pull like all the other exchanges.
Yeah,
like
Binance and Bang and all those other ones.
I don't know what's Binance doing. Yeah, Binance has the same wicks.
Oh, wow. So it is a Mexi thing.
Yeah, KuCoin has the same wicks too. So it's a Maxi, and that's why I'm asking what's going on with Maxi that it doesn't have these wicks.
Who knows, man? Who knows what's going on with Mexi?
Well, clearly, if you're trading Kaspa on perps, you want to be trading on Mexi.
Yeah,
not going to get scam liquidated.
For sure.
Well, but what about if you want to withdraw your money from the exchange?
That's a different question.
Then no.
No, like this is just so scary. Like the thing is that there is so many alts that just make insane multiples, but then on the other side you have like all these things where you get people not able to withdraw their tokens. You see, and I mean in this case, well, if you are holding, it's kind of good that you don't see it. But if you want to buy, for example, right during the week, then you don't get it. Well, I do not know, but like I'm still thinking that it's kind of weird. I'm not sure myself what to think about it.
Yeah, because Spot on the other exchanges has the wick, but Spot on Mexi doesn't. I'm sure Perps has it
Yeah.
everywhere though.
Hey guys, I
Perp
gotta
does it,
I
Spot
gotta
does it.
pop off real quick. You guys carry this, all right?
All right, bro.
I gotta go in 5 minutes as well, guys. So I'll leave it to Tucker and
You
Tommy.
guys carry it, all right?
All right, Tommy.
We got this. I'm just stimming up right now.
Man,
Oh, let's
Tommy's
go.
gonna cook today. I feel it. Because
Oh, man.
Tommy's always just
Yeah, Tommy, I need
laughing
some
there.
charts, some chart sharing from you, bro.
We're gonna look at some open interest today, man. Let me just get
Oh.
my coffee going first.
Good.
All right.
Good. Yeah, I'd love to take a look at some OI after what happened this morning.
Jesus.
We're
Look at
curling.
Look at these two candles.
Dude, I know.
Rejection.
Wait, what are you
sweep,
on?
buy.
Binance, 1 hour?
Yeah, I suppose it's the same everywhere.
Yeah. That's wild, man. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
really
think
did just run both sides. I mean, I would expect them to send it higher, honestly. I mean, if we don't go set a higher low quickly.
no, I still think, Tucker, I'm on the same boat as you are, that we simply I have a hard time thinking we go below this low anymore.
No.
But it's kind of, for me, I understand for many it's hard, but it's the same as when we were right here and I was buying big during this side because I was already anticipating everything that's going to unfold ahead. Like, hey, right, we are, because right here we were sitting on equal highs here on right, and that was just, we're gonna break it. For me, that was straight away with all this leading up to it, right? Like this structure leading to it. That was to me like, hey, we're gonna break it, right? So I was buying everything down here, and if we do break it, now what does that mean? That means that we go slightly higher, right? We go here, but what is the structure leading to it? We just created a higher high, and then people will be looking to short, which means that we go above this high, which means we break the structure, which means like yada yada yada, all these consequences that will follow through. And so this made an absolutely insanely low risk buy for me. And I'm seeing the same thing here, because like I see how we've already swept anyone that was having high leverage on, place their stops here, right? So we swept the all-time highs right here. Obviously, different exchanges had different sweeps. I think Coinbase had higher sweep here, but we had a sweep. We swept lower. Then there is no reason to go down anymore. And if there is no reason for that, it means that we may be ranging here. Maybe not, we just go straight up. But in any case, whether we range or just go straight up, this is then the future support. So I really think that we do not see sub 59K for the next. I do not know if we see that, in the next cycle, because, for example, if we were to look at Dow Jones index, right, and we were to go in 70s, once we broken higher, we also never seen sub these levels in the 70s. We never even came back and retested them. We merely did this, or like there was, we could kind of say like, hey, there was this retest, but never we never dipped down there. So if I go back on BTC, there is also decent chance that we may never ever see sub these lows. I wouldn't call that just yet, because maybe we have like a breakthrough and then we have a maybe like a scary deeper pullback here. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's too far right now to anticipate that. But I definitely think that once we break here, then for the foreseeable future, we don't see sub 59K. So I'm in the same boat, that higher. And Man, I cannot believe that these fuckers just front run 4,000 E's by this.
You
by
guys see
6
this
dollars.
comment?
You want to explain that, Tommy?
Yeah.
Pull
So
it
basically, we have this share screen button in StreamYard that we use, and I just kind of took over the screen one day without asking. Everybody does it anyway, but because I did it and didn't ask, everybody just says pulling a Tommy now, and when they steal the screen. So yeah, now you know if you're not a regular. But sorry, Jack, just keep going.
all good, man. I was gonna say that the best way to explain what the fuck is pull a Tommy is just to pull a Tommy.
Oh, you mean
And
like that? Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh no.
There you go.
And since Tommy was about to cook, then all good.
Yeah, Tommy, if you need to pull a Tommy and cook, do it.
Wait,
Yeah, let me,
before you do that, last thing, because I gotta leave, right? But
Oh, yeah.
I had this chart posted on Twitter, and people are like, well, they've been saying that since all the way down here, but like they were like, why would you chart Ether against Euro? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, bruh, I'm just using these levels because they do work very well. And look at that today, right? Look at that. Just today, we're getting a reaction here. Look at this ascending triangle. It was way more clean than on the USD pair. So, if it works, why not use it? Anyways, it's all yours, tell me.
all right, let's look at some futures data, boys.
You can pull you.
I'm gonna pull a me.
Everyone else pulls a Tommy, but Tommy pulls a me.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's look at the damage.
Oh, no.
Look at the damage.
Let's see the damage.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, we basically added like, how much was this? Oh, we added over $1 billion in OI in a few hours. So
And then
people are
wiped
very
it.
horny for all-time highs today, clearly. I would consider it a good thing, though, that we haven't, hit that high yet on open interest and made new highs on price.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let's take a look at spot. How's the Finks?
Anyways, guys, gotta run. Have a good one, and see you on Monday.
See you, Jackus.
Steady building. The Finkster's bidding. Yeah, this is also like one of the first times that we've seen spot CVD curl up like this, which on a high time frame seems like a pretty darn good signal. And those just look like they want to rip. And I always talk about, Tucker, what is the best way that people can express leverage without, or maybe more like hidden convexity in their leverage? It is
coin margin contracts.
Would you look at that? Look what's ticking up.
Mm-hmm.
This is your real sign of froth, guys. When you see coin margin contracts at an all-time high, that to me is going to be like peak froth, because that's what we saw back here. When this got wiped out, I talk about it all the time. I mean, it took forever to recover. Like, this is probably a sign that enough coins have changed hands into speculators who want to leverage long their coins, right? It's essentially longing your longs.
Yeah, but look at the price action when spot CBD starts to, or whatever, coin margin ticks up. I mean, that's like when we broke all-time highs in 2020 and just started fucking tearing. Not spot CBD, just the coin margin, right? Like, look at 2020 coin margin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, that's like the beginning of like you're about to fly.
Yeah, because open interest was already climbing. Open interest at 3 or 4x by the time that coin margin really took off.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this would be, you want to see this continue to accelerate, and obviously it would accelerate price as well, because longing your longs, guys. You're longing with more coins. It's also making the float a little bit lower. So, that's why Bitcoin used to have those much sharper inclines, parabolas, rather than now we have mostly tether denominated futures, which has kind of muted volatility a little bit. Let's look at ETH. What the hell? That's definitely a data lag. Yeah, it's just kind of wow. ETH about to hit all-time highs on open interest before Bitcoin. That's interesting. I didn't notice that. See how healthy the market is.
It's very healthy, Tommy. Yeah, funding's fine, bro. Look at that. Come on now. Remember the froth, Tommy.
Yeah, no, this froth is like, obviously ETH can get a whole lot frothier.
Yeah.
Spot doesn't look quite as strong, but I think if you zoom in,
I mean, yeah, spot's been down only for like a year.
You zoom in, it's curling up like Bitcoin did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this looks a lot like Bitcoin when it was at, I want to say like the 30Ks or something like that. See any other altcoins? Solana. Solana was the first to break open interest all-time highs. We've talked about that before.
Tommy, where do you see ETH at the top?
Honestly, that's probably the toughest question I have to answer, because I feel like I could deduce where I think Bitcoin or even Solana go, but I don't know where ETH fits into the picture, because at the end of the day, and I think, a friend was telling me about, Suzu was talking about ETH, at the most basic level, like ETH for funds in TradFi, like it's going to get the bid just solely based on like parity with Bitcoin's market cap. So, I don't know if that limits the upside or if that increases the upside by a lot. It really could go either way, man. I mean, I know a lot of people have conviction in ETH. I just like to FUD it because it's fun, but
it is fun.
As I've always said, man, ETH has a lot of number go up catalysts in the future. Damn, that's insane. That is crazy.
Dude, Pepe just won't stop going up. It's fantastic.
I know, man.
It's literally fantastic. Is Bitcoin going to V recover this?
Let me get my charger real quick. Oh, there we go.
Let's do a little low time frame.
I don't know if anybody noticed the alpha on my coffee mug yet, but
hold up the mug.
Now they're gonna just have to see it when I take a sip, man. Now they're gonna be paying attention to it.
I saw it. I didn't know. I couldn't even read it really though.
Jeez, man.
Let's see. Where was the volume? Okay.
Here's another thing I will say on meme coins, guys, is don't pay attention to funding. I won't even bother to pull up the funding on Pepe, on WIF, on most of these coins that are traded primarily on chain from a volume standpoint, just because the spreads are too wide, right? Like funding is so hot, quote unquote, on meme coins like WIF and Pepe, because it's so difficult for exchanges to be able to keep parity with the on-chain price when there's this much volatility in those markets. So high funding in those is less a product of people just longing their butts off to be on meme leverage, and more so that it's really difficult to keep parity with the on-chain price on exchanges. So let's see.
Are we gonna make this V recovery, Lance?
What are we at? 68.2. That'd be cool. I'm gonna let Bitcoin's dust settle a little bit before I trade it again, but I round tripped a decent bit of P&L this morning. I wasn't too pleased with that. I did put a stop on my trade because I saw that. I think I told you this, Tucker. I saw that tweet from the White Wolf before we went live. It was like, Yeah, this is probably getting wiped out within 24 hours. It's like, all right, I'll throw a
Dude, that
stop.
was like a fucking CPI day. Like that was the old double whipsaw action.
Yeah, it was. Shib, man. I can't believe Shib almost is as high as it is. Let's see, BNB. Haven't paid attention to this coin in a minute. I did know there was some pretty aggressive funding on it at one point, to like negative funding.
Dude, when the hell did BNB get above 400? What?
Jeez, man. Yeah. Wow.
I
Richard
remember
T.
when we were sub 100.
On BNB.
They were like right at 200. Not sub 100, almost sub 200. And somebody was shorting BNB, and I begged him not to publicly, and he wouldn't stop shorting BNB. And he knows who he is.
Even if you were bearish, like there were, I always said there were way better. Jesus, man, look at that spot CVD. Holy crap.
What is that, BNB?
That's Pepe.
Bro. So much higher.
Yeah.
Is it too late to hop on the Pepe train? Honestly, no. I mean, if you don't care about short-term drawdown, you're just going to hold the thing for the cycle, then I mean, what's it at? It's at 3.7 bill. There's no reason it doesn't 10x from here, truly. From 3, I think you get there 25, 30 bill pretty easily. Max thinks much higher, but I mean, 25 to 30 is a 10x, so you know.
Why is this up so much? Oh, didn't EOS announce they're burning half their supply?
They're burning half, and ARB is literally doubling their supply. Dude, doubling.
Size check. Stimmy, man.
Bullish doubling of supply. Yeah.
Oh, I bet the spot bid on this one's been insane. There's like 3 or 4 accounts that tweet about all the Rune whales right before that. They tweet that Rune's gonna pump before like all the Rune whales put the TWAP on.
Yeah.
I think Tucker knows who I'm talking about, but
I do. Yeah.
Without fail, man.
Yeah. There's a couple guys. It's not just him, but there's a couple guys.
Jesus. Yeah, I can see you in the footprint. Big guy. I see you in the footprint.
Yeah, he's there.
Jesus. Yeah, but this is just insane, man. But Rune's kind of nice. It's just like you throw one of the things I've noticed on Rune, you just throw like a weekly VWAP on this. Like we just bounce VWAP bounce. We'll probably return to the VWAP again and bounce again. So
it's a VWAP respector.
It is a VWAP respector. I couldn't believe how far this dipped, but I'm even more surprised by the recovery. Because I know last week, you know, at ETH Denver, we were talking about how we thought Say was going to have that big dip and probably bigly underperform Solana, which it did, but I just was not expecting so quick of a V recovery, man. That was wild buyback on this coin.
On Say, yeah, what did it tap 50?
61, 62 cents.
Yeah.
So they took longs to the cleaners, but
yeah, they did.
Let's see. Any other tickers you guys want to look at the open interest at before we start to wrap things up?
What does Doge look like?
That's a good question.
Oh, and FET. They want FET.
Fetch AI. I bet the open interest on that coin is going to be really funny to look at.
I know.
Go straight up. Let's see. This one needs a spot bid. The thing about Doge, guys, is that it's kind of hard. Like one on a higher time frame, Doge spot CVD probably needs to curl up for like that huge parabolic rally I know people want, including myself. But the thing about Doge is it's like it's a mean reversion respector.
Mm-hmm.
You just look at, and this is not my alpha, by the way. I stole this from Sim, if you guys know who that is. But just like look at all the time frames, how much it like even when it pumps, man, it always reverts to the freaking mean. So I think this one could be like a slow burner in the sense that, you know, maybe you see something like this. You see like maybe a slow, where's mine? Okay. Maybe you see like a slow grind into resistance, and then you get a big pop. And then it's probably like back to slow grind for a few months, a few weeks again, right? Before you talk about going higher, just because it is the mean reversion respector. Most of these large caps are. I don't know why that is. I'm sure somebody could give you a better explanation than me, though. Let's take a look at Fetch. Funny that we're looking at Fetch right after a dog coin.
I know.
Let's see, where are we at?
Fetch AI.
Real quick. Ooh, S&P at 51.44. Interesting. I don't like the weakness in the S&P up here, man. I know crypto's strong, but Jesus. This looked exactly how I expected it.
Oh man, yeah, Jesus Christ.
You guys really degened on this one pretty hard. Basically, people shorted right here. Not really, though. And then they just sent it. I guess people shorted in here. I don't know why you would, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you short an AI coin at support? What sense is there in that, man? Honestly, this is a very clean signal, not just to go long on perps, but spot longs too, guys. This is a good educational material right here. Like you had, you know, this pump out of accumulation right here. Obviously, you know, you usually bleed back down and retest demand at some capacity. It took a really long time on this coin, so I can see how people got kind of sweat out of it. But, you know, we had super negative, like we had negative funding on flat price action for like 3 or 4 months here without breakdowns at support, you know, for the contract. Yeah, I mean, this is like exactly the type of signature that you shove spot on. I wish I was paying attention to this coin back in the summer, because that was a clean signal, guys. Very clean signal. I will look at one more coin, and I'm only looking at it because I have a bag. But
Jito.
People are going to hate when the Jito coin pumps, man. I'm telling you. Because they're going to fade it because of the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry if you've been trading this on perps.
Dude, yeah. It's not, there's not excessive OI. It doesn't seem.
No, because it's just gotten run out.
Spot, man.
Wicks.
Spot's
going to tick up.
Yeah, it's maybe trying to bottom there.
Yeah. OI's bottomed.
Yeah, you got price going up on declining spot and flat OI. I mean,
very bullish.
Yeah.
I like this coin a lot, guys. If you've stayed long enough in the show to see this, I'm very bullish on this coin. I think a lot of Sol ecosystem plays haven't caught the bid they probably will catch, just because it's the whole focus has been on meme coins. But we can go ahead and wrap things up there, guys. We've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. We've covered everything from technicals to open interest. The Raven we did touch on, say, a little bit earlier on in the show. With the replay will be up here in a little bit. You'll be able to watch that on our YouTube. But yeah, without further ado, we can go ahead and wrap things up. Like I said, appreciate all of you guys so much for tuning in. Would love to have you come in and try out the Discord. You know, we've been absolutely crushing it lately. We crossed 300 giga chads earlier this week. The community is flourishing, not just us as analysts, right? But it's also really cool to see our community cooking too. Not just trading shit coins, but and I don't want to sound corny or anything too, right? But people in there are having a lot of fun. They're becoming really great friends with each other. And ultimately, you can't go into these markets alone. It always helps to have a great team, a great community, and great people to work with in order to be able to continue to navigate it. Because, and it's funny. I was on the Confi Pandas spaces with Faces last night, and we were just talking, and Trader Mercury was on there too. We were talking about how, like, this is the busiest I can ever remember the crypto market, the busiest. There's so many different sectors popping off with opportunity where, it's difficult. You can't possibly keep all your attention in all of these baskets at the same time. So, just reiterating how much value it is to have a great community, a great team around you to be able to, catch these rotations, to stick to your convictions and everything in between. But real quickly, guys, I'm going to talk about our programming here, and then we will officially be wrapped up. A reminder that Market Check will be live again on Monday. It's Monday through Friday, every weekday. We talk charts, we talk trading, we talk analysis every morning. Typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, we've got our flagship show, Market Talk, with the legendary King Wabi, that will be airing this afternoon around 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time. It is typically around the same time every single day, depending on how long our afternoon call with the Giga Chads goes. And they talk everything, right? They talk trading, markets, equities, crypto. I mean, I could extend the list incredibly long. I mean, you guys can expect basically everything on that show. They've got some really amazing guests. You never know what you're going to get, and I say that in a good way. You never know what you're going to get on that show. But make sure to tune in. I'll be there this afternoon. I'm going to stop in and say hi. But y'all have a great rest of your Friday, a phenomenal weekend. We will be back on Monday with more phenomenal content. Our Giga Chats, of course, I will see you this afternoon. But thank you again, guys. Have a great weekend.